Yo, 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 what's up? This is Jeremy from JG Innovation Garage in the peach capital of the state. Without this thing. Yo, 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 what's up? This is Jeremy from JG Innovation Garage in the peach capital of the state. Today it's the swamp bud of the state. All right, so what we got working on today? Today is June 12th, Saturday. We're going to talk about water sanding. Water sanding. Everybody has their own way. Everybody has their own technique. Everybody has whatever they got going on to achieve what they are trying to achieve. And what are you trying to achieve? You are trying to achieve true flatness. Whatever that is. True flatness. You want to get the FLA out. The fat lady ass syndrome. Alright? FLA. What Charlie Hutton told me one time. He said, you gotta get rid of the ugly, the FLA. You gotta deal with the ugly before you can get to the shiny. So if your epoxy is chunky, your primer is chunky, your sealer is chunky, your base is chunky, it doesn't matter if you put 1,000 coats of clear on it, it's still gonna be chunky. Because you can't get rid of it because the clear is here. Then you have your base or your mid coat, and then you have your mid coat, and you have your base, and you have your sealer, and you have your primer servicer, and you have your high build, and you have your epoxy, and you have your metal wash if you use that. So if you start out chunky, you're going to end up chunky. There ain't no way about it. Now, in between that process, if you put on epoxy and it's not flat, and then what you want to call it orange peel, if it's down, and then you put high build primer over that, then you block that out, and it's super flat, and then you go on through there, you'll be fine. But I use CRE 321. I spray it 2 to 1 to 1. 2 to 1.5, 2 to 1 to 2, and I use it for high build, I use it for epoxy, I use it for everything. So if you put CRE down, which is an epoxy, and then you go from there, and let's say your epoxy's been blocked, and you're going to put base on there, they had a bulletin out that they said that you need to either sand it or you need to put a sealer down and then put your base. Now, if you're putting hardener in your base, then that's okay, you keep digging. If you're running single stage, you can keep digging. But if you're doing the CRE epoxy and then you block it, and then I've put base straight on it and been fine. Never had no issues, never had no peeling, never had nothing, no adhesion problem whatsoever. But PPG released a bulletin saying that if you're using CRE 321 and the CRE 211H hardener, then you need to put a sealer down. You need to use sealer anyway. If you're not using sealer, and people say, well, it's because you're using crappy paint or whatever. No, that's not the problem. The problem is sealer is what it says. It's sealer. It seals everything, hides all your scratches, and gives a uniform coat to what you need. So let's talk about water sanding. So water sanding, to get the true flatness in your panel, there's several different ways. You can do it dry or you can do it wet. When you're getting closer to the end, a lot of guys like to do it wet. You can do 400, 600, 800. Most sealer will cover 400 scratches. If you are afraid of it, you can go to 600. If you're using waterborne, you can go to 800. We teach at the college. I teach 2 days a week at the college. I've been there since '08. I taught full-time, then I went part-time, and then I quit. Went to Petty's, worked there, left Petty's, came home, started my own thing, and went back to the school. Everybody knows the story if that knows me. So it's a good rule of thumb to put down sealer. A lot of guys, there's an older guy that used to teach at the school. He was a department chair. He's not there no more. He retired. He would mix up sealer in a base. So he would do sealer, but he would do it in the base formula, which it was in the computer for PPG. Instead of using a actual DOS or a sealer, he would mix up sealer in a base coat and then spray it. Well, he done that for a while until he done a Mustang and it come back and bit him because all of his body work, even though he spot primed it, it came back. So that's a whole different story. So we're going to talk about water sanding. You keep saying that, Jay, but you get sidetracked. Ooh, look, squirrel. All right, so there's different types of blocks. All right, everybody has their own preference. Paint sticks, whatnot. So this block right here is not really a block. It is wore completely out. It's actually a Meguiar sponge. See, watch this. It's a sponge. Then you have the Durablock, which is 20 PCF thickness for more rigid blocking, wet or dry sanding. It's made out of EVA rubber. You got this. Then you have the 3M squeegee. The Molly Camaro at Petty's that me and my friend did at Petty's, and the Polara that's at Petty's still. Every bit of that was water sanded with 3M sponge, this size and this size. Okay. And now you have these big Kid Blocks. This one right here is about a 1/4 inch thick. I have the whole kit. Different lengths, different sizes, different thicknesses. Some are flexible, some are not so flexible. So what am I using? I'm using this to hold the door open so I don't get into nothing. I'm using the squeegees to get the water off of it. And I'm just using these big block water sanders. So how am I doing it? All right, so let me see if I can set this phone up without breaking nothing. Now we're gonna, short dog, you hear that? And bullfrogs is down there calling. See, y'all just gonna have to hold on a second. Cause see, I'm by myself. Oh, we're gonna get the old trusty tennis shoe. All right, so here we go. All right, that's more better. Until the lights went out, we ain't gonna edit that out. We're gonna leave that there. Boy, everybody, blam! Shut the door. Somebody's coming. Hurry, shut the door. All right, so I have the square paper where you rip it off and you fold it. I have that as well. But I take this DA paper and it's wet and dry, and I fold the block just like that. See, just like that. And then let's see if we can get this without this southern gun following me again. That's so funny. Everybody asks me how I do my videos or how I do everything. I used to have an iPhone 6 and then it kind of crapped out, and now I have an iPhone 12, and that's what I do all the video on. So you find my rag. So you mix water and a little bit of soap, and then, so how I'm doing this is you just take the block and you lay the block down like this, and you just go in a crosshatch pattern, okay? You're not pushing down on it, you're letting the block do the work. So you just go this way, and I usually do a 12 by 12 square. Now I have longer blocks that I can do longer sections, but for demonstration, I do 12 by 12 squares. So make sure you have plenty of water, and then you go about 7 or 8 inches this way. That's 9 inches. from there to there. So you go this way, and then you go back the opposite way, just like that. Then you go back the other way. And then until you feel the paper smoothly sliding across the panel, then you know you have it truly flat. If it's still catching, even though you have it wet and it's still catching, then it's not truly flat. Then I take the squeegee and then I pull all the water off of it. And then I check. Then you sight it to see if it's truly flat. And then once that section's flat, you go to the next section. 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 If you take the paper sheets, and fold the sheet, then so if you take it and you fold it and you fold it and you fold it, then you have a sheet here. Then you block. When it's done, then you pull it back and you rip that piece off, and then you have a new piece there. Then you block. Then you flip it over. You block. Pull it back. You rip it off. You keep pulling it off until you end up with just two halves, and then when you do that, you're done. And then once you look over in your pile, you'll have a bunch of little short sections where you blocked. That's pretty much it. Keep your workstation clean. Grit, belt buckles, rings, watches, stuff like that. There's no place for them in a body shop, collision shop, because the reason why is it gets catching on stuff. Now this is not completely wet, but do the sight test. But this Mustang's getting pretty slick. So got a couple of spots over there. The hinge kicked back on the door, and got to fix that. But ain't no big deal. But that's all I got. So these big Kid blocks, this is what I use. And then I used to use the DuraBlock, but now I use the DuraBlock to hold the door open. And when you say how hold the door open, what do you mean? This is what I mean. So I take this all right, hold on. So I take this DuraBlock and I stick it in between the door jamb, like that right there. That's how I do it. I stick it in there to keep the door jamb, to keep the door raised up off the quarter, so I can block this way and not hit the quarter. Then I go the other way and I go back that way. Yep. So I didn't throw away my DuraBlocks. I keep them. I keep the doors and hoods and stuff like that up. I paid for those too, so I got to keep them. I ain't throwing away no money. So that's what I got. I appreciate everybody. So if you want to know what it looks like, that's what it looks like right there. Still got to keep going, but it's pretty daggone flat. And the plan after this is seal the whole car. Once the whole car is sealed, and G7, you have 72 hours to get back on it without sanding it. Going to go around and nib anything that needs to be nibbed. Yes, I'm going to go around and nib the sealer. Go around and nib the sealer from any lint or anything that's caught in it. And then after that, then if it needs to be spot, I'll spot it. If not, I'll wipe it off. 3 wipe down process, wax and grease remover. Daggone bunny just come right through there, come up behind my feet and went underneath my car and went that way. So 3 wipe down process, wax and grease remover, anti-static, and water prep. The same water prep that you use for aqua base. Do a 3 wipe down process, wipe it down, then you tack it off, and then make sure everything's good. Then we're going to shake up some color, then we're going to shoot some color. The thing about this car is it's getting GT 350 stripes, so don't know if I'm going to lay down the color first for the stripes, then lay the stripes out, and then paint the car and pull it back and then clear it all, or lay the color out for the car clear the car, let the car set, then scuff everything that needs to be stripes, lay the stripes out, then re-clear everything. Don't really know yet. Hadn't decided which way I want to go. Either way, look, there's another bunny. Y'all think I'm crazy? Look. See him right? Look, right there. See him? Look, right there. See him? That's bunny number 2. So then, I don't know which way I'm going to do that. That's crazy, man. Look, see? Look. So, got to figure out how I'm going to lay the stripes out. But anyways, bunnies has got me on. Anyways, everybody, put God first. Let loose and drag. Don't worry about what the man up the road's doing. Don't worry about what the rabbits are doing in your driveway. Hassenpfeffer. We're going to get some Hassenpfeffer. And then put God first. Let loose and drag. Peace, love, and chicken grease. I'm out.